Appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this live, and everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This could be past, present, or future. You or someone around you. So take a resonance, leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below, and I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Remember that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. It's a good idea to have an empty cup when you're on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see this up. Thank you all for stopping by and saying hi. Hope you're doing wonderful. Okay, feeling great. Thank you for your support. All are welcome on this channel, and all contributions are highly appreciated. Okay. One second, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. The first card that we have for collective is ending. It says, you're pretending that it's not ending, but it's time to let go and make a fresh start. So there could be something collective that you may be in denial of ending. If this is not your energy, this is someone around you. Maybe you have a family member or a friend, an associate, someone who's experiencing something, and they are in denial of ending this connection or this situation. They feel like they don't want to let go of this relationship or this connection with a person in particular. This could be your energy or someone around you. This could also be a friend, a family member, okay, a coworker, someone who talks to you constantly about their relationship. They may have expressed to you how much mistreatment and disrespect have been going on. This person could have been with this person for a long period of time, for years. And maybe you have a lot of love for this person, but you're like, look, I'm tired of hearing it. It's time for you to let it go. You know it's time to let it go. Why are you keep talking to me? It's like wearing you out. You know, you care about this person. You want the best for them, but it feels like they could be in denial of leaving this connection. So this either is your energy collective or someone that you know who's experiencing this. They're in denial of leaving an unhealthy connection. This could be someone who is a third party in a love connection, with someone who is married or with someone who is involved with someone else. Someone could have even children, a whole nother family somewhere else, but they're being tolerant of this person, male or female, okay? This person could also claim to be in love with this person. It's complicated. It's the next card here. And when they share their problems with you, you may have told them, look, well, maybe you should just let this go if it's too much for you. And they probably tell you, it's complicated. I care, but I love them. I love them. Okay. The bottom of this says lots of twists and turns, knotting situation, precarious. Okay. And so you may have expressed this, and they possibly make excuses, telling you reasons why they don't want to separate or leave this person. Okay. But as time has moved on, the accumulation of the energy that this person has experienced, the events that have taken place with this person and this lover, because I'm picking up this is a love connection or friends with benefits, okay? A meet up to eat up and beat up, okay? But this person is a joker. Maybe you express this like this person does not care about you. They're not serious about you. Why do you take them seriously? Okay, so you may have told them this person is playing games with your time, with your heart. Excuse the noise. Okay. The bottom of this card says it's all just a game to them, insincere, just having fun. So you may have expressed like this person is playing you, they're wasting your time. It's just a game to them. They're not taking you seriously. Okay. This person may have just have chosen just to ignore you, just constantly expressing how much they care about them because of the amount of time. Okay. People often associate love with the accumulation of pain that a person puts them through when they're in a relationship. When in actuality, the repetition and repetition of experiencing any kind of dysfunction, disrespect, being disregarded, being mistreated, cheated on, deceitful. The repetition of experiencing these things in any kind of connection, whether it's romantic or friendship, is really an indication from source that this is a connection that's not healthy for you. But lots of people associate love with timing and the amount and the accumulation of stress that someone has inflicted onto them or they have experienced with them. And so a lot of people choose to associate that and use it as a crutch, an excuse, a reason to stay in these unhealthy connections, whether this is marriage, a living spouse, someone you're creeping with, someone, you're just their jack off partner. That's for somebody. But yes, people often associate the accumulation of mistreatment and, just disdain and disrespect, as a reason to stay with a person, when in actuality, that's really a sign and a synchronicity from your ancestors, your spirit guides from source, to separate and move on from that person. And so what happens is a person stays in that karmic cycle like a hamster on a hamster wheel, moving but going nowhere fast. So you stay in that pattern and in that cycle because you're choosing to use the accumulation of mistreatment and dysfunction as a reason to stay. Okay. And when in actuality, you keep having these events with this person, these arguments, disagreements, finding out they're cheating, they're not coming home. It could be anything that you consider to be disrespectful. Okay. You're having them repetitively because it's a message, Source is giving you the message like a red flag, time to go, time to separate. But often people choose to stay in marriages and in unhealthy relationships. Yeah, let that marinate. Okay. The next card is alone. Okay. It says you feel like you are in this situation all by yourself, but it won't be like this forever. Okay. And so maybe this person is concerned with being alone because they have been in this connection for a long time. The comfort zone is another thing. When we find different situations that we are comfortable with because we have grown accustomed to over time, we often tell ourselves, which is a lie and an illusion, that it's not possible for us to separate. It is always possible to separate and progress in life. You take one step and source will take another. You take one step and your ancestors may take 5 or 6 steps. You never know until you take the action. So it's all about having faith and trusting. People say they believe in a higher power. People say that they have faith, but when you are in these situations that are unhealthy for you, that are depleting you and taking away your life force and your life source because this person is causing you stress and aggravation, that is not love. When it is consistent and persistent and, the negative outweigh the good, when the negative outweighs the good, that means, something needs to be done about that. Okay. All right. The next card is adrift. It says not willing to settle down or be responsible. Time to commit and put down the roots. Okay. So this person is someone who does not want to be committed. They don't have that energy. They don't harness that energy. You cannot force them to be a committal person. You cannot force them to be faithful. You cannot force this person to be open and honest with you. A person can tell you anything, but does their words and their conversation match their actions? Does their words and their conversation match their actions? Okay. So it's all about being able to accept, the truth. It's all about being able to accept the truth and the reality of what's really taking place. Okay. Okay. The next card is Dream World. It says living in a fantasy land, illusions. Okay. Land illusions, not real love. So this is not real love. It's an infatuation. And sometimes there are different circumstances where a person, excuse me, where a person will allow, let me correct myself, to be infatuated. This could be lustful. This could be because of aesthetics, because a person may appear, may be beautiful, handsome, very appealing to the eyes. This could be popularity. A person may be very popular or well known, and you or whomever this reading is for may be someone who seeks validation from people outside of them. A person could also uh, another thing is finances. They allow themselves to stay in this fantasy, stay in this infatuated situation because of money, for monetary reasons. Okay. All right. Who doesn't love money? The money, the greenbacks. Okay. The cheddar. Okay. All right. So that could also be a reason. Maybe this person is wealthy, or this person spoils, the other spouse, or spoils you, if this is your reading collective, and maybe you have grown accustomed to a particular lifestyle. But what Source is saying here, that all those reasons are no reason to stay. They are reasons to actually go. Because if you are allowing yourself to be in a relationship that is superficial and it's not built on a sturdy foundation, it's likely that the reasons that you are staying are reasons that you can leave. If it's money, if it's finances, well, you're strong enough and powerful enough to go and create your own abundance. If it's a housing situation, it is possible for you to obtain your own housing situation, regardless of what people may tell you or what you feel or see outside of what's going on. Those reasons that you are staying are the reciprocal, are reasons that one should part. But after, a person allows themselves to become comfortable, that's when, you give yourself excuses. And then, another one is the kids. I'm staying for the children. Well, if you're staying for the children, don't forget that if you're in a household, whether your child is a newborn, a toddler, a teenager, in grade school, does not matter. The energy in the home will be felt by the child. The dysfunction in the home will be felt by the child. That energy will filter through the whole family. The essence of the disagreements, of the anger, the hostility, the frowning at each other, the pulling up in a driveway. And I always pick up on that energy, pulling up in a driveway, getting off work or coming from somewhere, and you don't want to go in your house because what's behind that door, you don't want to face it. You don't want to be around it. You really have no connection to it. And so these are the very reasons that you should part. So that's for somebody. Whatever reasons you are giving yourself to stay in this relationship are the reasons that Source and your ancestors are saying that you should leave. Because anything that you feel this person is giving you, you can give yourself. And you can only have a healthy relationship when you choose to love yourself first, when you choose to really love yourself first. And when I say love yourself, we're not talking about material things. We're speaking of, the love that is sustainable, wholeheartedly 10 toes down, loving thyself, speaking positive to yourself, not allowing any low vibrational or nefarious people, places, or things to even enter your circumference or enter your world, your household, your life, not giving access to those low vibrational things. Not leading with your flesh so much so where you're pressed and you end up going in the wrong direction or giving access to the wrong person. Okay. Mm-hmm. And another one, Spirit is telling me to mention, someone may have a fear, which is, it came out alone, of being lonely. The word lonely is an illusion within itself. We were taught, as humans, that that's something negative. The word lonely, the mind is all, and we are all one. Okay. And alone and lonely, both have the words one within it. And so in order to become one with yourself, you must learn how to become your own best friend. You must learn your value. And in order to learn and experience the depths of you and what your purpose is, divinely speaking, you must honor the gift of separation and knowing how to be alone and be your own friend. It is not a state of depression. It is not negative. It is actually a gift and an honor when one knows how to be self-efficient and be alone and be happy and not sad, and have an understanding that it's not a negative, it's a positive. Because those who rely on others to thrive and survive, or you have to, if you have that energy where you feel you have to be around people in order to be happy, or you have to be around people in order to feel love, or you have to be around a person to feel value, well, that means that you need to do some reflection. That is a sign of weakness and insufficiency within thyself. Okay. But this connection here is, very unhealthy, and is one that needs to um, end quickly. Okay, get another deck here. Okay, what else does the collective need to know about this unhealthy connection here? Anything else connected to know? Okay, one second, ladies and gentlemen. The first card we have here is viral. It says instant fame, going around quickly, gaining popularity. So I'm picking up with this energy. This person may have been dishonest or maybe a cheater, likes to get around, adrift, doesn't want to commit. They're not accustomed to it, being in a relationship where there's reciprocity and fairness and honesty. So there may have been, with this viral energy here, a few moments, okay? Spirit is saying a few moments where you found out this person was not being faithful, and maybe it went viral. And when I say viral, it could be on social media, but it also can be verbally within a community, within a friend group, a family group, where everyone knows what's going on except for you. Maybe you found out about this at a later date. Maybe this caused you to feel embarrassed. I'm picking up that this happened more than one time. This could have happened on several occasions, okay? Okay. The next card we have here is receipts, okay? Evidence guilty as charged, exposed. So there has been many, many receipts, many, many pieces of evidence of this person and not being honest, and not being faithful, just not being fair or considerate of you or your emotions, being very deceitful, being very focused on fulfilling their lustful desires. This could be someone who has some kind of condition, okay? Some kind of condition where they are excessive when it comes to their nature of having human relations, okay? This could be someone that does not have no control. You know how they say, oh, this is how men are created, it's in our nature. Well, that's a lie and an illusion. That is not how men are. No, it's not in your nature. That is a lie that has been programmed and projected on to the human race, especially our male species, not feces, excuse me, species, that they are unable to maintain, practicing, retention, semen retention, or practicing abstinence. That is not how men are made. And there are men who do have control over their lower regions, of how much they're intimate with, their spouse, or going outside of their relationship. So that is a lie. That is an illusion. It is not in the nature of a man to want to have excessive activities. It is not in the nature of a man to have more than one partner. Everyone is not like that. So that is an illusion, and that is a part of unlearning that we need, men and women, to allow ourselves, that is not true at all. That is something that is projected onto the masses, so that you'll have a natural excuse of why, but that isn't it. That's not the answer. And yes, I just said that. Okay. The next card we have here is dirty money. It says illegal activities, thievery, and laundering. So you may find out this person could be involved in some kind of illegal activities. Maybe this person could be a street person, who get their money, get it how they live or whatever. And you may find out this person is a hustler or involved in something that is illegal. And that's how they're able to provide you with particular lifestyle or so much money or treats or trinkets. But either way, this person is popular, very well known, and just as you or whomever this reading for, is in love with the money that this person provides. Also the other people, male or female, this person deals with on the side. Well, they feel like you feel. They like the money too, so they feel like, look, I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Look, we can just be here and we can be foolish together. Okay, and so Spirit is saying for you or whomever this reading is for to make that executive decision to, separate, okay, separate, excuse me, separate ties. Okay, if I said that right, sever ties. Okay, okay. It says keep it 100, honesty, showing true colors, transparent intentions, and so it's time for you to keep it 100 with yourself. Practice self-preservation. It's never too late, okay? And any, negative thoughts that pop up that telling you, oh, you can't, how it may be a living situation, for an example, and you may say, oh, I got to come up with the money. I've been staying with this person, they've been taking care of me for 5-6 years. How I'm going to have, do not pay those lies any attention, okay? Do not, tell your ego to get out the way, get out the way. I can do this. I got this. But it's time for you to be honest with yourself so that you can live your life, the life that you deserve, and walk in your purpose. This person has had enough of your time, and there's no need to be in this unhealthy connection because you are not happy. You are truly miserable. You know that this person is not faithful to you. You know that they will never be faithful to you. But the reasons that you are staying would not grant you any brownie points. Okay, no one's going to give you a gold star for staying in an unhealthy relationship that is not good for you. And so Source and your ancestors want you to part your ways, and they're saying that they support you in whatever it is that you're worried about: money, transportation, housing, whatever it is, you will be provided for. And no, you may not see it now. You're not supposed to see it, but you have to trust and know in all situations, collective, that there's always a higher power working for you on your behalf. All are welcome on this channel. Okay, does not matter what your belief system is. Okay. And the next card we have here, as I talk about finances, it says penny pinching, financial struggle, saving up and budgeting. So maybe this is a good time for you to save up. Go ahead and sever ties. But Spirit wants you to be wise moving forward, not anxious, not paranoid, but the money that you do have, in your possession, or work on saving, work on being more frugal. Also, when you are out and about, it's okay to shop. It's okay to enjoy life, but be honest with yourself. When you're in the store, just say to yourself before you pick up that next blouse, do I really need this shirt? And if you need it, purchase it. If it's required, purchase it. But ask yourself that. You pick up that purse or those shoes, do I really need this extra purse? I got 13 bags in my closet. Do I really need this purse? Ask yourself that. Okay. All right. If you're someone who loves to go to the nail shop, I'll go to that too. Do I really need to go get my nails done, or should I go home and give myself a manicure and let my nail mantle, which is the nail bed, this is the nail mantle, and my free edge, which is the nail, this is the free edge. Should I let my natural nails breathe for maybe a couple of days? Do I really have to always be on and turning up? Ask yourself these things. Enjoy life. Don't live in fear, but be honest with yourself as you go through, because I'm picking up on some people who are some energy that is actually going to separate from this person and let it all go. And Spirit is saying you're going to be surprised. And you're going to be very glad and thankful that you chose yourself and you didn't choose to continue to sacrifice yourself, because staying in this connection is just you sacrificing yourself. And you're also sending out the signal to the universe that you are not ready for new energy. You're not ready to meet that new person because you're still dealing with this low vibrational activity. New opportunity and high vibrational energy is not going to enter your life, the energy you desire, until you rid yourself of this old energy. So that starts with separating. That starts with, well, first of all, acknowledging you need to separate, let the healing work begin, and then continuously do the work on yourself. Let the momentum build, and that opens the doors for new people to enter your life. Okay. They want to see you boss up. Okay. Nobody wants it more than you than to see you boss up. And when I'm speaking of boss up, I'm not talking about material. I'm talking about within yourself, being confident within yourself, being strong, being wise, feeling empowered, working on your health, working on your well-being, saying kind things to yourself, only surrounding yourself or dealing with people who are inspiring. Okay. Only dating in the future moving forward, people who are emotionally available and honest with you, not being tolerant of nonsense. And so that's what we mean of bossing up as I hold this card here. Choosing you and not them, not sacrificing yourself. Okay. Because you are more than these material things. Okay, you are more than the money that this person gives you. You want love, you want equal reciprocity, you want someone who is faithful, you want someone who is respectful. As I picked up with the viral card, you don't want someone who's going to be cheating and messing around and you don't know nothing about it, but everybody else does. That's quite embarrassing to be claiming someone as your man, or people see you together and everyone knows what's going on except for you. That's very embarrassing, extremely embarrassing. You don't want to be the key, of the hood or the group or the family where everybody knows except for you, or on social media, you know, or you go places. I'm also picking up on maybe you've been on outings or to gatherings with this person, and you see people staring, but they won't say nothing, but they just keep staring at you. Or you see people whispering and they're laughing, and you're like, are they laughing at me? Is they talking about me? Yeah, they know something you don't know, or they know something you've been speculating, but you are choosing to ignore it. Confirmation with the train, okay? And so the final card we have here, it says graduation day, leveling up, lessons learned, acquired wisdom. So this relationship is a karmic situation that you were supposed to experience, but you're not supposed to stay there. And that's one thing that we seem to get confused and mixed up as humans, because you experience this relationship, and yes, it is karma, doesn't mean you're supposed to stay there. Just because you're married to a person and they start to mistreat you doesn't mean you're supposed to stay there. There is nowhere where it's written where it say you should sacrifice yourself and your divine purpose. There is nowhere that is written. I don't have to bet it. Confirmation. There is nowhere that is written. But people use these things as an excuse. Oh, we're married. Oh, the kids. But it's unhealthy. You're hurting. You're in pain. You're miserable. And some people stay in relationships that are so draining and so negative and impactful that it wears on their health, their well-being, raising their pressure, keeping them sick. They have bags under their eyes. They're not healthy. There's nothing wrong with bags under your eyes. We all are beautiful. But I'm just speaking metaphorically, of how staying in unhealthy connections doesn't matter. Marriage, relationship, live-in spouse, pull up, get some spouse, best friend, even friendships, anything that is unhealthy. You must get into the habit, experience life, experience people. But when it no longer serves you, be willing to let it go. Be willing to honor the gift of separation. You have to let it go. You have to love yourself that much. This concludes the read. Later.